we know that the new Snow White film is coming very, very soon, and they're in the big push for promotion right now. It's obviously had a lot of eyes on it for a lot of various reasons over the last 3 years now since it was initially announced. But now that we're actually at premiere day, it's been put out there that Disney won't have a UK premiere in an attempt to avoid the backlash after the adaptation. And this is only part one of the story, but first and foremost, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Disney scaling back the idea of a premiere in the UK.
Disney bent the knee. It's been a PR disaster. Now, I love how they word this anti-woke backlash. In this case, it's not. It's backlash. It is just good old-fashioned backlash because, it's been well documented. I don't need to tell you guys. Rachel Zegler has been an absolute disaster on the PR, and it's because she's a little content creator queen. That's what she used to do. She's never been told no in her life, and the first time she got clapped back, well, this is a young girl who thinks she's fucking right about everything. We were just talking about that and now she's finding out she isn't. And being young is an excuse for a little while, but not for long. So after the third or fourth time, you were a complete idiot out there. Now they just have her singing and canceling this premiere. It's the smartest thing they can do at this point, other than maybe not releasing the movie. But I've heard that I've heard some arguments from Chris Gore and others, because he's talked to theater people who think, not like theater kids, like people from movie theaters, that they think that this might perform like Little Mermaid, which would be a freaking massive win. It would barely make its money back, but if it does $500 million worldwide, I think that's the best they can hope for. Really, considering the PR, this should perform like the Marvels. It should absolutely flop. But there's a lot of families and kids out there who don't care. But the movie sounds like the movie itself just sounds like a disaster. Like it's subverting the original, which created Disney. But Disney, Disney doing this is freaking smart. Now, it's not them apologizing to anybody. It's not them saying they were wrong. They're just, Rachel, go out there and sing. Don't say anything. Don't say a freaking word, and if she hadn't have said anything, I think this movie probably would have done fine, would have done okay. I'm sure the Disney fans who saw it, who loved Snow White, would hate it, but most families and normies would have probably gone it and forgot about it the next day, and it would have done fine. So she has become the face of woke Hollywood. Like Rachel Zegler is the poster child of woke Hollywood now. I think it might be too late, but I think they can mitigate the damage, and I think it's smart.
Well, I think that's what they're doing here, is they are also scaling back the Hollywood premiere to where they're not even allowing traditional media outlets to invite. Instead, they're just looking to control the narrative and include photographers and just an in-house crew to cover this. So I think that's the most fascinating thing, is they don't trust anybody in the movie to actually go out and talk about the movie without there getting hate behind it.
Exactly. And I love how they're trying to roll Gal Gadot into this too, because she's Jewish. And I can promise you, outside of urban areas and universities, nobody really gives a fuck about the conflict in the Middle East, and they don't care her relationship to it, and they don't care she was in the IDF. Most people don't know and don't care. But they're trying to roll her in to not just hyper focus on Rachel Zegler, which is exactly who you should be hyper focusing on. And not for her Palestinian views, for her views on fucking Disney. That's what she's in trouble for. She came out and said the original was dated. And, even it was Gal Gadot who said the princess is going to save herself. It's like, she's just a bimbo. But, that's the worst thing I can say about Gal Gadot. She can't act and she's a bimbo. But, she's not as bad as Rachel Zegler. She's the one who came out and disrespected Disney. So that's why this isn't a anti-woke backlash. That's why the trailers are getting freaking ratioed into oblivion. Numbers that are up there with the Rings of Power ratio, which was pretty effing bad. There's been hit videos based on the comments section, which is great. It's been mean to, like, I personally haven't made a video on Snow White because and I'm just going to wait to review the movie. That's all I'm going to do. I haven't made one because like I'm not gonna roll out here and go, I am such a fan of the classic stuff. I'm not a Disney fan, never have been. I've always think it was kind of a girl's brand and a little gay. I've always thought that. So that's why it horrified me when they bought Marvel and Lucasfilm. But I can respect Snow White for what it was for the movie that it was.
If you mentioned Zegler, I mean, this was her quote.
Yeah. Weird.
That's Hollywood, baby. That's what she's. Hey, Rachel, that's Hollywood, baby. You get. There's consequences for your actions when you fuck with it. She fucked with the audience. It's one thing to give your views on we expect idiots to be idiots. Okay, and most actors are fucking idiots. They're adult pretenders. They when they get off script, we find out they're functionally retarded. They have no thoughts of their own, and all their fucking politics come from their assistants who look at TikTok all day. So they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Ricky Gervais was right. But then when you start disrespecting what the core of your company, what a bunch of people really love, then the Disney adults are mad. It takes a lot to make them mad. Well, I mean, you raise their prices at Disneyland that they go to without their kids. And then you piss on Snow White.
Right. Well, it's also pissing on Snow White. I mean, I think that for me, like I watched that movie with my children when my oldest, when she was probably 2 or 3 years old. I remember having, just watching her and she dance and do all the little fun things with the dwarfs. And so that to me, I didn't watch the movie growing up, but watching it with my kids, the original, obviously, that's put the original Snow White in a very near and dear place in my heart. Outside of the fact that it was the film that literally built Disney from the ground up. It was the big swing for Walt, over 100 years ago. But even further, if you recall, Gary, do you remember it was Peter Dinklage who was really upset? God damn it, the stupid thumbs up thing keeps popping up because I'm on my phone. If I do this, see what happens. Let's see. Or there we go. Fireworks. We got some fireworks here. But people are pissed at Snow White in addition to that, because guess what? It's always about the little people are pissed again, as they should be, because they use the CGI dwarfs over the actual actors.
It's fucking wonderful because it's woke Hollywood eating itself. You get what you fucking deserve. Peter Dinklage, who was probably half drunk or full drunk when he made this statement of like, they shouldn't put the little people in there, motherfucker kicking the ladder out from behind him. And I love him. He's a great actor. Took a bunch of jobs from midgets, right? And there's a huge there's a place called Midgetville in La Jolla. It used to exist. It doesn't really exist that much anymore. So Midgetville was all the fucking midgets from Hollywood lived in La Jolla in these houses that were to scale. So from the outside, they look like normal fucking houses. But if you walk up to them, the doorway's like right here. And you're like, holy shit.
Wild.
Yeah. That's holy shit.
I
think only 3 of those houses exist now, or maybe 2. It's been a long time.
It's like the Shire. We all gotta go.
It is. But they're mixed in like within normal houses, but that was a real thing. So big industry in Hollywood, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing. You're not objectifying. It's like you know what? There's a lot of stories with little people. And look, the way they inverted Peter Dinklage in Endgame was pretty good. They made him a giant midget, which was funny. But yeah, the Midgetville cute houses. Yeah, it's all
fascinating.
Tiny town. Let's go. Sorry, I got distracted.
Has Warwick Davis ever said anything about Peter Dinklage's remarks? Because he's the Chad of all Chads when it comes to
I don't know. That's a good question.
I've never seen anything. He kind of keeps to himself. So. But yeah, I bet you he was probably pissed because he's done so much advocacy for the little people. And then here comes Peter Dinklage just fucking it up.
He's had a good little career.
Well, we'll see hey, bada boom, let's go. Hey, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, man.
The best I can think of right now. I can do better.
No, that's great.
All right, I came up short.
Hey, let's go.
Alex Van Way. It's on Mount Soledad. All right. So if you're in La Jolla, you have to drive up the side of Mount Soledad. And this was back in the 80s, right? 80s and 90s. There was like 3 houses that were left from Midgetville. We also in La Costa, this wasn't midgets. We in La Costa, outside of La Costa Avenue. Sorry, Carlsbad. We're doing some San Diego lore here, so forgive me. There was a brothel. There was a like a little cul-de-sac that was a brothel that was all Victorian homes that were like 1/6 scale Victorian homes, and then you go in there and like meet your hooker and get laid.
All right, let's go.
There you go. Some San Diego history there.
Hey, it's a whale's vagina. That's what it's named.
Whale's
right?
vagina. Yeah,
that's right.